BingX, a trusted global crypto exchange. Trade spot, futures, or copy top traders easily. Sign up via the link or referral code to get 30 USDT instantly, plus up to 1,500 USDT in bonuses for verification, deposit, and trading.
Google is poised to establish a significant artificial intelligence data center on Australia's remote Christmas Island, a tiny Indian Ocean outpost, following a strategic cloud services agreement inked with the Department of Defense earlier this year. This development, revealed through documents examined by Reuters and corroborated by insights from officials, marks a potentially pivotal moment for the island and Australia's defense posture in the Indo-Pacific region. The proposed data center, situated approximately 350 kilometers south of Indonesia, represents a previously undisclosed initiative, with many key details surrounding its scale, financial investment, and intended applications remaining under wraps. Nevertheless, military strategists are highlighting the considerable strategic value such a facility would bring to Christmas Island, an island increasingly recognized by defense authorities as a crucial frontline for observing Chinese submarine and broader naval movements within the Indian Ocean. Conversations are reportedly in advanced stages for Google to lease land adjacent to the island's airport, paving the way for the construction of this data hub. Furthermore, discussions are underway with a local mining entity to secure the necessary energy provisions for the operation, as confirmed by Christmas Island Shire officials and indicated in council meeting records. An entity owned by Alphabet Inc., Google's parent company, has characterized this project as an integral component of its efforts to enhance subsea cable infrastructure, thereby bolstering digital resilience across Australia and the wider Indo-Pacific. However, Google has also sought to temper expectations regarding the project's magnitude. A Google spokesperson stated to Reuters that the company is not constructing a large artificial intelligence data center on Christmas Island, while also indicating that further details would be forthcoming. Planning documentation does reveal Google's intention to establish an additional future cable system designed to link Christmas Island directly with Asia. Sources on Christmas Island, who have requested anonymity, have indicated that Google has sought a long-term energy supply agreement for a 7-megawatt data center, with a proposed energy mix that includes diesel and renewable sources. Google has not provided specific commentary on its energy requirement projections. Australia's Department of Infrastructure has acknowledged Google's proposal to set up a data center on Christmas Island, which also encompasses plans to connect the island to Darwin through a subsea cable. A departmental spokesperson stated to Reuters that discussions are ongoing with Google to ensure that the energy needs of the proposed project can be met without adversely affecting the supply to local residents and businesses. The Department of Defense has declined to comment on the matter. The strategic importance of Christmas Island has been underscored by recent tabletop war games involving the Australian, United States, and Japanese militaries. These simulations emphasize the island's role as a forward defense position for Australia in any potential regional conflict, particularly its advantages for deploying uncrewed weapon systems, commonly known as drones. Brian Clark, a former U.S. Navy strategist who participated in these war games and is now a fellow at the Hudson Institute, elaborated that a forward command and control node on Christmas Island would be indispensable during a crisis involving China or any other adversary. He explained that such a data center would facilitate the advanced AI-enabled command and control operations crucial for future military engagements, especially those relying on uncrewed systems for surveillance, targeting, and even direct combat. Clark further noted that subsea cables offer superior bandwidth and reliability for communication compared to satellite systems, which are considered vulnerable to jamming by adversaries during conflicts. He added that a data center on Christmas Island would enable much of this critical functionality to be managed through cloud infrastructure. This development coincides with the Australian Department of Defense entering into a 3-year cloud agreement with Google in July. Notably, the British military recently announced a similar cloud agreement with Google, aimed at enhancing intelligence sharing capabilities with the United States. Google also initiated the process for Australian environmental approvals last month for a subsea cable intended to connect Christmas Island with Darwin, a key northern Australian city that hosts U.S. Marine Corps personnel for extended periods throughout the year. On Christmas Island itself, Local governance is actively assessing the potential community impacts of the proposed data center. Before granting final approval for construction, the Shire president, Steve Pereira, indicated that his administration is thoroughly examining these effects. The island, historically known for its asylum seeker detention facility and the dramatic annual migration of millions of red crabs, has grappled with inadequate telecommunications infrastructure and limited job opportunities for its approximately 1,600 residents. Pereira stated, "There is support for it. Providing this data center actually does put back into the community with infrastructure, employment and adding economic value to the island." However, residents have expressed concerns about the potential strain on the island's energy supply, which relies heavily on diesel generators to supplement its limited renewable energy sources. Given its remote location 1,500 kilometers from mainland Australia, the Department of Infrastructure has affirmed that Google's project aligns with the Australian government's objective to diversify the island's economy beyond its traditional mining sector. A departmental spokesperson emphasized that all necessary environmental and planning requirements must be fulfilled for the project to proceed, acknowledging the island's unique ecological sensitivity. Sources on Christmas Island, along with defense intelligence, suggest that the data center holds considerable commercial appeal for Google due to its strategic Indian Ocean location, bridging Africa, Asia, and Australia, alongside its evident defense-related potential. Recent military exercises conducted on Christmas Island, including the rapid deployment of advanced USHIMARS rocket systems from Darwin, have elicited varied reactions from the local population, while some anti-war activists have voiced apprehension regarding the impact on tourism. Business stakeholders are reportedly optimistic about the economic boost that increased defense activity might bring. According to Shire President Pereira, he highlighted the island's status as a strategic defense asset and stressed the importance of protecting its various industries, stating that all new projects, whether defense-related or commercial ventures like Google's, would be carefully considered with these factors in mind. Retired Navy Commodore Peter Levy, who has a personal connection to the island from his student days, has been actively engaging with Australian defense groups there since last year, aiming to foster community support for defense initiatives. He views Christmas Island as exceptionally well positioned for monitoring maritime traffic through critical straits such as the Sunda, Lombok, and Malacca Straits, underscoring its prime geographical advantage.